I promise to keep you.
Hey, we're here! Traveler, Paimon, great timing. We got a lot of letters in the mailbox, and I just... Nice work! Well, the real work hasn't even started yet.
Como que será que vai acontecer no final? Ler... Escolha um aqui.
Escolher um? Escolher no meio.
Qual deles? Tem dois do fundo.
Aqui,
Quem? Vai de cima. Qual deles?
aí essa parte não sei. Vou soltar.
Não, qualquer uma. Primeiro?
Sim? Dá um soco na cara.
Gente.
Caralho.
Guia. Pai. Vou ajudar. Essa eu te ganhar. Meu Deus do céu. Vou dar o dedo.
Por que eu usar isso?
Caralho. O bebê é muito nerd. É muito louco. Ah, parece assim, seria. Só os flor que não é que nunca se perderá, aquele que nunca mentirá. Razors. Você não está preparado para viver em nenhum que não seja em Mondstadt. Cometi com massa. É uma pena que não seja com você está procurando. Acredito que a dor que posso. Sei Razor. Ah, lembra assim que nunca termina. Primeira carta do programa.
Aqui.
Tira da cola aí.
And a radish veggie soup.
Let me quickly summarize what we found out about a flower that is not of this world. Tainari believes that on closer examination it might be logically paradoxal, while Albedo says that his answer would be better discussed at length in person. As for my answer, I think a clock in the shape of a flower would constitute one that is not of this world.
Here's what we've gathered regarding a guide who will never get lost. Mona said that she'd like to join us in uncovering the secret behind the prophecy, while Bennett suggests Fischl, Mona, or the Traveler as potential candidates. Mika didn't submit much, but he did draw a vegetation map for Master Tainari and wrote up a dragon spotting calendar for Sino. Amber also wrote in. She said that she sees herself as nobody's guide, but everybody's friend.
As for one who would never lie, Rosaria removed herself from consideration, but both Razor and Sino are willing to support us in our search. Timaeus seems to have forgotten to write to us.
And finally, this is what we've gathered on a legend that never ends. Kali said that her mom has a number of friends who like to write storybooks. Lisa believes that legends live forever in people's hearts. I think that for a legend to be never-ending, it has to be filled with hopes and dreams, and actively passed from one person to the next.
So, what are the answers to the 4 riddles then?
You're really smart, Paimon. I bet you can figure it all out in no time.
Or, let's all share our thoughts on what we think the
Wait! Wait for me!
Oh, Timaeus! What?
I'm sorry, I really am. The time just got away from me and I didn't get around to writing that letter. However, I'm happy to announce that I think...
Huh? This is kinda sudden. Not that we don't trust you, Timaeus, but, could you elaborate a little after you catch your breath?
Of course, of course. Do you still remember the time I, collaborated with a certain Miss Ying? Well, basically, she helped me out a lot with my research into potion making once, and, well, we've stayed in touch.
Wait! So Ying is the girl from Liyue that Sucrose mentioned earlier? We always assumed you were hard at work every time we saw you at the crafting bench. So you've just been writing letters to Ying the whole time?
No, well, I mean, not all the time. I've done some work too. And anyway, our correspondence covers a lot of serious topics, like perfumes. Anyway, a few months ago, I made a vow to the heavens that I will be true to myself and never utter an insincere word until the day that I've managed to win Miss Ying-R's heart.
So, at Star Snatch Cliff, you were picking Cecilia's as a gift for Ying-R?
Well, that's right. The Cecilia flower is said to represent a once wayward heart, transformed by the power of love. I couldn't think of a better... I know full well that Miss Ying-R is far more knowledgeable than I in both the ways of the world and the ways of our craft, but... which brings me to the subject of the last few days and the Windbloom Festival. I thought it was time for me to invite Miss Ying... But yesterday, Albedo told me that Sucrose has been working hard to help another girl achieve her dream.
Huh?
And when I went to take a look at our roster, I saw that she'd done my remaining work for me. I feel incredibly guilty. I've been spending all of my time in my own fantasy world while everyone else has been bending over backwards to help other people. How could I ever hope to be worthy of Miss Ying-R's love if I'm...
Oh, Timaeus.
And that's why I've decided to join you.
But then what about Ying-R?
Yeah. Haven't you been planning this for over a month now? You said you were gonna invite her to
Well, yes. I did mention in my letters that I'd like her to visit, which is why I just sent her another gift with my hand-picked Windblooms, along with a handwritten letter. I explained that a matter of great importance has presented itself, to which I must devote my full attention for the time being. As soon as it's resolved, I'll make haste to Liyue to pick her up in person. I made sure to package the gift and letter with the greatest care. All I can do now, point being, please know that I sincerely want to support you in this endeavor. Plus, I think I'm an honest person. As far as I recall, I don't think I've told...
Well, you certainly convinced Paimon with that speech. Don't worry, Timaeus. We won't let your determination go...
Thank you, Timaeus.
Ah, thank you, everyone. I promise to do everything I can to help.
Okay, so it looks like we found our one who would never lie.
Great! Let's keep it up. On to the others. Okay, Paimon will do the honors. Ahem. We have with us here the flower, the guide, the legend, and Timaeus.
Huh? Why did you only say Timaeus' name? You should say my name, too.
All right. We also have Klee.
That's me!
With Klee here, this all somehow feels like we're getting ready for a field trip.
There's nothing wrong with a more relaxed atmosphere, is there? Of course. We will soon see if my hypothesis...
Actually, I'm still feeling a...
Me too.
But weren't you all fired up just to...
Yeah, you're right.
Actually, I'm a little worried, too.
I know what you're feeling. Saying any...
Well, does anyone...
Oh, we know something about that.
What? Wow, that's amazing. You really...
Then we'll let you lead the way.
This is it. We're off.
Entregou toda a quest antes do jogo.
According to the map, it should be somewhere around here.
Let me take a look. Oh, it should be right up ahead.
Aww. I don't see any lantern. Now that I think about it, the prophecy didn't say anything about what the Lantern Utmost Joy actually looks like, right? Maybe...
Traveler, are you trying to figure out something else from the paper?
Paimon's reading too. Huh? But there's nothing above us. The wind didn't trick us, did it? Place the squirrel on the back of the pointy-eared cat, and a pious puppy will open the doors to show you the way. Huh. Paimon read the whole thing out loud, but nothing's happening.
Look! Look! The wind is blowing!
What a strong wind current. Let's ride it up and see where it leads us.
Huh? We'll have to fly up there? Can someone carry me with them?
Here.
Tá medo. Carrega ele, é sério.
This is the first time I've ever flown like this!
Caralho. 8:23, aí é flutuante.
How did this little island get up here in the sky? Did somebody make it?
Just to be safe, I've been jotting down our entire route here. This way, no one will get lost.
Oh, good thinking! Huh. Who would have thought we'd find this kind of table here? Weird. It's almost as if someone...
I never would have guessed that such a place could exist. Right above Mondstadt.
Wow, look at that pretty lantern on the table. There's even a chair for each side of the lantern, too.
There seems to be something on the back of this chair. Take your seat, present your answers, and you shall reach enlightenment. Well, as far as instructions go, I guess that's simple enough.
So we just need to do as it says, right?
Wait a second.
Huh? What is it?
We'd better make sure this place is safe before taking our seats. Everyone, please stay clear for a moment.
Well, all our questions and doubts aside, the scenery here is pretty amazing. It'd be impossible to feel stressed here.
How is everything, Albedo?
Everything seems to be fine. But I also couldn't find any overt destructive device.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, it seems that wrong answers won't have any catastrophic consequences. Looks like we'll have to sit on these chairs and... Everyone, I would like to suggest that we try some risky answers on our first attempt. Let's reserve our most confident answers for the second round.
That sounds kind of...
I get what he means. If we do as he says, then we may be able to figure out how the puzzle works.
I see.
Mona, is there something...
Oh, are you hungry? I brought some snacks.
Thank you for offering, Klee, but that's not quite it. While Albedo was checking just now, I gave my scryglass a spin, hoping to find some information. But there's a strange aura to this place. It's almost as if someone has been staring at me as soon as we stepped foot in here. But if nothing here has actually been physically tampered with, then No.
What do you mean, Mona?
Never mind. It's not like I've got any proof.
Ugh, don't leave us on the edge like this.
I'll just do what Albedo said.
Yes. Let's test the hypothesis together, Klee.
Come on.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
You can do it, Sucra.
Then I would fetch a Tetratanic sweet flower.
All right, I'm up next. My part of the prophecy is to find a guide who will never get lost.
Se perderam.
Kale, I hope you found your answer.
My answer is that I will be that guide. For a long time, I have been guided by others. It's taken me a while, but although I still haven't made a name for myself, and I'm still quite immature, I want to help others the same way Amber, Master Tighnari, Cyno, and everyone else helped me. Now it's my turn to pass on the gift that I've been given.
All right. It's up to me to answer the third part. I'll submit myself. Although I've never really had any other virtues or talents, I'm confident that I've always been... I'd like to thank everyone, too, for giving me this opportunity to...
And last but not least, I will answer the final part of the prophet. There's no tale more befitting the title of a legend that never ends than our fates as human beings.
Wait! The lantern just lit up! Whoa! All four sides of the lantern are glowing!
Huh? But...
Kale, could I ask you to stand up for a second?
Oh, all right.
Huh? What's going on? Why is it lighting up regardless of who's sitting in the chair? Didn't it say we have to...
It's pretty clear now, isn't it? We've just proven that there is no right answer for this prophecy.
No right answer? But how could that be?
Although the instructions had come from an old and enigmatic prophecy, it is in fact nothing like the ancient mechanism that we had all imagined it to be. I believe the lantern only serves as a simple signal.
And to think, I never expected you to actually find this place.
What? There's someone else here?
We meet again, traveler.
Hey! You're that Outlander we met the other day at Good Hunter!
It's all thanks to you that I was able to find this place. Good thing that you were too preoccupied with the prophecy to notice someone tailing you from the...
Oh, is that so? Then, why do I spy yet another person following in...
Wait, really?
There's no need for pleasantries. You should know I'm here for you.
Is it just because I'm a visitor from abroad?
I was there when you snuck your way into Marjorie's place.
Huh. So you had your eyes on me even then, huh? That was 2 whole weeks ago.
It's hard not to notice you when I'm on duty every day.
All right. In that case, I'll admit it. I was the person who slipped this prophecy into the storybook.
Huh? But why? Then, does that mean...
Don't worry. Even though you probably have plenty of reservations about me, you can be sure... In fact, many of you here today may have heard the code name of the one who left the prophecy to me. She hailed from an ancient assembly of powerful women, each of whom used a single letter to signify themselves.
Who would have guessed? It seems that power was indeed left behind by the old hag after all.
Ah, so you're B's student. It's an honor to meet you. I am Scarlet, the successor of Jay.
Well, what are you talking about?
It's a long story, but I'm not quite sure that I'm the best person to tell it. Since you've all spent so much time and energy trying to decipher this prophecy, the lantern has already been lit. Now then, please allow me to disturb your happy peace.
Huh. Why did this little thing just light up?
Hello? On the other side of the lantern. Can you hear me over there?
Mom? Oh, I hear many youthful voices.
Madam, I am Scarlet, the successor of
Oh, Since we've last gathered, Jay's successor has already become so reckless and...
Wait. Why are you talking just like the old hag?
Old hag? Who would dare say that? Is that Mona?
Who are you? Who dares imitate my master?
And what of imitation and mimicry? It has always been a fool's errand to mimic and...
Oh, Alice. I'm here too.
Mom, why are you trying to talk like other people?
So I see everyone's here. Well then, my warmest greetings.
Miss Alice, why would you...
Well, it's been many years since this lantern last lit up. You can't blame me for thinking that one of the old friends from my youth may have decided to catch up again.
Why she sounds so coy all of a sudden?
And if I recall correctly, we left this lantern in the care of the Animo Archon Barbados. You must be commended for uncovering an artifact and trusted. Tell me, are you sitting around my beloved tea party table?
It's a really long table.
Oh, so you are. I suppose this means even the Animo Archon has granted you entry to this place. Was all of this Scarlet's doing?
Wait. Paimon's completely lost now. So what was this assembly you were talking...
Miss Alice, would it be all right to leave the explanation of that to you?
Well, you should be rewarded for making it all the way up here and activating the lantern. Now, ever heard of the Hexenzirkel? As the spooky name suggests, it's a secret society. Once upon a time, it even challenged the Animo Archon himself. But he replied, "Let us make music, not war, and resolve our conflicts through song." From then on, the mages would only ever convene in the woods, in the skies, or on the edges of cliffs. At these tea parties, they discussed their stories and secrets and resolved their differences, as the tea and cakes bore witness to their pledge never to fight amongst themselves.
Yesterday I snuffed out the life of my beloved. He had grown old and was extremely sick. He loved me dearly, so I took his fate in my hands and ended his pain.
I'm raising a son. Of all the children I had, he's the only one left. But I suppose that still makes me a mother.
My lifespan is nothing compared to yours, so I wish to leave you with my storybook. Actually, maybe you can pass it on to your children one day.
Oh, this looks interesting. Let me scry.
My dear sisters, we mustn't let prophecies threaten our bonds of friendship. Even the most frightening witch was once a little girl, and growing up can be so tough. Sometimes we all need to vent our troubles to the wind. Even if the nations go to war, or the sky falls down, the mages' tea parties shall forever be held around this table.
So this is where the legendary mages held their meetings.
That's right. We often met here to chat and have tea.
Then what about the part saying that if we light the lantern of utmost joy...
About that. I never expected anyone other than Jay to actually read the full contents of that prophecy. The truth is, that prophecy was actually just a letter that we sent to Jay as a group the day before her wedding.
So it was indeed written by all of you?
I must thank you for resisting the urge to immediately reveal the truth to everybody, Albedo. Knowing you, you probably figured out everything the moment you laid eyes on the message.
No, it took me a little longer than that.
A flower that is not of this world, a guide who will never get lost, one who would never lie, and a legend that never ends. These 4 descriptions signify 4 individuals. When a member of the organization had to leave the group to spend the rest of her days with her beloved, the other mages would write down this prophecy and send it to her to invite her for a final get-together. A flower that is not of this world signifies, of course, flowers that do not naturally exist in this world. This is the signature of our full name, Rhine-daughter, also known as Gold. If there's anyone in this world who could create a flower species that does not yet exist, it would be her. The guide who will never get lost is N, otherwise known as Nicole. You may not have encountered her yet, but she is a truly extraordinary woman who has made this world's direction and order her subject of study. Some of you may be fortunate enough to have already heard her voice. Like a prophetess, she will only speak to guide people toward the truth when a change has occurred in the world. She has a tendency to suddenly speak in someone's mind without any warning. If one day you would be unfortunate enough to run into a truly dangerous situation, she may use her voice to guide the way forward for you.
Who would have guessed that there are so many mysterious women in this world, and that they would all know each other?
The one who would never lie is me. I hope no one would take offense. It's just that I, Alice, or A for short, have always had a soft spot for those with sincerity and candor. As for a legend that never ends, you may not know M in person, but you've likely encountered one of her works. Have any of you ever read The Boar Princess?
Huh? I'm pretty sure every child in Mondstadt has read that book.
It's also one of my favorite stories. M was an exceptional human writer who used her prose to teach me the meaning of grief. Don't you think such a person would deserve a seat at the mage's table?
Paimon's getting more and more lost.
It may sound hard to believe, but I can attest to everything that Alice has said. Jay was also a mortal who aged and passed on, leaving her title to her students and followers. Alice, you've never acknowledged any of Jay's successors. It's now been centuries since the first of us took on her mantle. I've always wanted to...
Do you also want to become a mage?
Title aside, I think I'm more interested in the meaning and purpose of the Hexen Circle. I used to think that the Hexen Circle was a group of women who could control the very fate of this world. But now, I've seen for myself that besides Jay, many other ordinary people were also among you.
Do you think less of us now?
No, not at all. My interest has been piqued, and I'm now even more drawn towards the idea.
You're right. I've never acknowledged any of Jay's successors. But you are different. You are much more fascinating than any of your predecessors.
Oh, has someone finally peeked onto...
Now is not a good time, Scarlet, but as soon as I am able, I will seek you out for a meeting. I want you to tell me all about Jay's married life back in her hometown.
So the mage who received the prophecy letter from all of you was Jay? She left the Hexen Circle after getting married?
Precisely. There was only one way the letter could have been interpreted. She would have known what we meant as soon as she saw the message. We were just asking one thing of her. Please come to see us again. Before you go and settle forever with your happiness, please come share some of it with your best friends and sisters.
So, the Supreme Blessing actually meant...
All journeys are fleeting and will eventually come to an end. What will give us the most fulfillment and happiness in the end are those who will greet us at our journey's destination. Dear child, I believe you can also understand what I am talking about. We women will always have many troubles, but no matter how hard things may become, we will, as long as we can be with our beloved friends, our hearts will be filled with joy.
I still don't get it, but I do know that all the mages are mom.
If you ask how I see it, the Hexen Circle is just a group of ladies that I spent my youth with. Anyway, I'll introduce some of the other members to you all later. I still have a few things to attend to, so this...
Bye, Mom! Todoko says bye, too!
Goodbye, darling, and farewell to all of our other friends as well. Oh, now that I think of it, isn't it getting close to that time of year?
Yes, it's Windbloom again, Alice.
It's also a special anniversary date. I'm sure you...
Yes, I do remember now. It was on this day many, many years... Oh, just in time for the Festival of Love and Freedom. Everyone, please...
Albedo! Why didn't you tell me we'd have to glide all the way back down?
Are you okay, Timaeus? Maybe you'd feel better if you just, let it out.
I'm fine. I'm just, a little glider sick, that's all.
You may want to look into getting your own gliding license when you have the time.
It sounds like you've still got something on your mind. Why don't you tell us?
It's nothing, really. It's just, well, Alice's story, but still, the whole thing wasn't quite what I was hoping for. Of course, I didn't actually expect the Supreme Blessing to be...
Don't say that. None of this was your fault, Timaeus. Honestly, it's more on me for having agreed to be the Wimble.
If anything, it should be my fault for finding that prophecy.
Oh, no. I didn't mean to blame the two of you either. I just feel like this whole adventure didn't really end on a high note.
But I'd say we still learned something new.
Well, that aside, Timaeus, you still need to go to Liyue to apologize to Yingar, right? Do you want Kale and I to accompany you?
Oh, Miss Yingar. Well, I mean, I just really don't want her to get mad at me. Now that I...
Hey, you three? You may want to look over there.
Huh? Miss Yingar?
Oh, so that's Miss Yingar? I've never met...
Yep, that's her. And she actually came all the way...
I am so sorry, Miss Yingar. But how did you...
Are you so happy?
Of course I am. I'm so happy that, I don't,
I was ready to give you a harsh scolding. But now that I've seen you like this, you said you couldn't come to pick me up because of a very important matter, right? Well then, of course I had to come.
Should we go see how they're doing?
Well, I wouldn't. You'll get hit by a forest boar if you interrupt a couple's romantic conversation.
Oh, really?
I am so glad to see Timaeus find his happiness.
I have to say, you can be happy just to see others happy.
But if you say that, then I'd say I'm also nowhere near as... I've never visited Sumeru, or made many friends from outside of Mondstadt. I'm happy, just maybe I'll get shy and flustered when I meet other people I don't know Since we are so alike, you probably get what I'm trying to say.
But... isn't it too late now for me to learn to...
well...
I may have read about that in a book before.
That's a topic that my parents used to talk about back when they were still dating. Surprising, right? To think that people would talk about that. My mom brought it up at dinner one time last month. She called my dad the most boring man she knew, and said that he even turned up late to a date once, all with a smile on her face. But she also said that learning is just another part of life. It's never too late to start something. Why don't you give it a try, Kale?
Okay, I'll try my best.
They're really having a great conversation. Paimon can't even find a moment to join in.
I nearly forgot.
This texture. Are these seeds?
Yep. I believe I mentioned my sweet flower research to you before. These are the seeds of the sweet flower cultivars that It's nothing too special, but they're the best. They're super sweet. I'm also submitting them as my—
Thank you.
Kale, please take these notes with you. I've heard that you've been working hard on your studies, so I've prepared some study materials for you at Sucrose's request. Feel free to look through them whenever you can find the time. Mondstadt's doors will always—
Thank you. I don't know what to say.
Sucrose, now's your chance! Didn't you want to collect a breath of joy?
You're right. I almost forgot. Kale, can you exhale once into this test tube?
Oh, really?
Of course. Huh?
What? It was like a little cloud of happiness, and now it flew away.
Well, luckily, there's still some breath left in the test tube. I'll keep working on it, and let you know as soon as I have any breakthroughs.
Yeah, you can write to me. I'll be sure to respond as soon—
Oh, it looks like you found a new pen pal.
Master Tighnari!
If your friendship was forged in a test tube, does that make you test friends forever?
That's it. I think you've ruined Sumeru's reputation in Mondstadt beyond all hope of repair.
All that matters is that I've enjoyed Mondstadt immensely. The dragon here possesses a majestic form.
Oh, that reminds me. Traveler, this card back is for you. Saino wanted you to have one for yourself. If I had to guess, I'd say he probably wants you to use it if you challenge him to a duel.
I'm a master of the game. Do you dare challenge me?
Can you believe this guy? Huh. Let's knock him off his high horse.
Wait! I've got something to give you, too.
Huh? Kale has a gift?
Yeah! I made these bookmarks from Sumeru roses at the hotel. I want to give them to Amp. During Windbloom, Mondstatters offer flowers to the people most important to them.
But Tighnari said that we're not anything like an academic family. He wouldn't write joint—
Well, in this case, we can consider ourselves as regular siblings. And that should be just fine.
Oh, and here are some Padisara seeds as well.
Whoa, are these really for us?
So, are these your chosen Windblooms?
Mm-hmm, one of them. Both Padisauras and Sumeru roses are my Windblooms. Although they're not native to Mondstadt, they are the flowers that can best express my feelings. I want to give them to the people I feel thankful for. To those who I wish to accompany as we greet more seasons and future Windblooms together. The real blessing in life is when you are surrounded by people who you'd miss day and night, and who you'd want to see even if that meant crossing mountains and oceans to do so.
I'm so happy to hear you say that.
Sucrose, do you see that cloud over there?
Huh?
Doesn't it look just like your test tube?
The academia. These look surprisingly useful.
Boring! Useless! Here! Boring! Lament! Worthless!
Hit.
Territory, you hear?
I will always seek to protect the things that are most important, no matter what it takes, even when it looks futile.
I can do this. I know I can.
Kale, sucrose! I brought some home cooked.
Really? Sounds great.
Sorry.
Are you feeling stressed?
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Wait, since you are already familiar.
Yeah, Kale seems to be a natural.
Huh?
That's right. You've been all talk at the.
Really? Isn't that great, Kale? You've become.
Oh,
Biatch. This realm is true. If you ever have...
Once the snow is thick enough, we can eat it. The damned will sooner die again than lay a hand on me. Impossible!
I could make a tidy sum selling some of this.
Those memories. So dark. Reduced to just standing around. How absurd. damned will sooner die again than lay a hand on. I'm hungry. Let's hunt.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are. Nahida! Bad news! We just saw. Did he escape or?
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the station? I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the Balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me. A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case...
Don't flatter yourself.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting...
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Don't you dare try. As long as the terms are.
Well,
Yes, one in which I gained valuable. The Balladeer's power plus. He's a. Wait a second. I take no pleasure in saying this.
Sometimes it's you using them, other times So as long as you have some value to offer. Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility.
As we discussed, I don't like.
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him! Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. We still have time. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch. Nahida, are you serious about this? Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit. Yes. Oh, yeah. It's possible that he was granted the amount of information, so I asked the Balladeer to search and... Exactly! I understand how things will go in the... Our minds have connected. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the Balladeer hits my pleasure, really, you're Sumeru's... I was going to contact you. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outgrade. Prepare yourselves.
Wow, it looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh, but I guess you
Shut your beak, jailbird!
I understand that prisoners have...
Sounds like a successful I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. Unlike anywhere else, I know there are many grievances.
Fine. Let's call it true.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are gonna be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. If there are no further objections, or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy, it's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure. Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow. So this is the inside of Irmin. Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flow. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to...
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart...
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running.
Hey, so... Say we did go running up... what are you...
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge treat!
Lesser Lord Kusanali,
Good, you made it.
ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents.
The Balladier's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to stay alive.
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends.
Paimon's never tried this before. This is good. So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladier's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what...
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart and attentive. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic...
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatara Suna's history is still unexplained.
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce...
So the Gese got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatara Suna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved. Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said conversation. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So,
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you.
Wait! How did you know about that?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those saplings. What could it be?
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement. You have to share it with that.
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatara Suna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatara Suna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, And under your leadership, Tatara Suna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant village. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. As for Tatara Suna, it was originally established as a means of safely disposing crystal marrow. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade. That is why you accepted the proposal brought to you by myself and Akame.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no... You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatara Suna's key consultants.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in—
So you say, Escher. But as—
My good sir, what do you—
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected. Because I didn't want to speculate. And I didn't want to believe that things could turn out this way. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue? And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. We've kept the truth from spreading outside, but still, none of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. This is our last hope. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some...
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torichio, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand.
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine.
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat? Sadly, I am so very—
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you? What are you—
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to trust me.
Drop the act! We're past that now. I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the—
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my back. It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an alias, and that I was not from— And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity.
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace.
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're...
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this.
It's no trouble at all. If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui? Who? What do you...
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you gave us your cursed tech...
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when faced with its demise. My device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent... Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead. What other reason would a human have for befriending one who is not of our kind?
If you give him my heart, tell him that both Naga... He has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone just wants to use...
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Then out of respect for you, I shall redefine myself. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could... I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade. And if not...
Hey, are you...
Dottore. Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from Fontaine? But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even more so than I.
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad. Paimon doesn't want to be anywhere near him right now.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it, but why has that gotten him so worked up?
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabukimono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up, disguised as the mechanic from Fontaine. And that's when the trouble began. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma that would bear fruit in the future. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test subject. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me. What's in it?" The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." He took it straight from the chest of one of his innocent servants. The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a cursed thing, but it has protected him from the filth. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart to the ground and left Tatara soon.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim? That's terrible.
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Dotori, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, aren't you investigating the stuff we want to know about?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders. Anyone who comes from beyond this world is not counted as part of Teyvat.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other...
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your brother in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was his first destination when he arrived in this world. Plus, he only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens responded?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your brother for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was
very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself.
Huh? What have you...
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I can't sustain this shield for very... I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few words with you. So tell me, in this world, is it Done.
Huh? What happened?
Nothing. I was just thanking her for helping me. So long. I suggest you—
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. And I enjoy nothing more than to stamp them out like the pests. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone.
Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared! Come on, we gotta find— Oh no, he's
Oh, can you hear me?
Nahida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now?
It was the Balladeer's fault.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little power left. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his ability?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault. We were supposed—
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here. We're running out of time.
This had better be important.
Another recurring...
Yeah.
Another recurring...
Yeah.
Are you feeling any better now?
Yes. I think the Dendro Archon made a really good point. I need to... Now that I think about it, my wife and I know where that place exists but at the same time, I feel as if I should otherwise. Once I can stop dreaming... Actually, you two are adventurers, right?
Yeah, even if you can't see...
Yeah.
Alright, go ahead. Are you headed off to some interesting place without telling... Huh? Wait, aren't you supposed to be answering questions?
I just finished, and they really got a lot out of it. So many interests. Anyway, it looks like...
Oh, there's no need to trouble you, Great Dendro Archon.
No need to stand on ceremony. Besides, I wanted to use this up...
Huh. I didn't know the Great Dendro Archon could become puzzled too.
I'm not all that different from you, you know.